Caesar, how has the current political climate been affecting your emotional well-being?
If I had to put my feelings into one word, it would probably be frustrated. Because everything seems so divided with the current, everything that's happening with the election coming up soon. And there's a few other things, of course. And I feel like we either can pick one side or the other. There's either far right or far left. And I'm in the happy middle, and I think that's really what I'm trying to figure out right now. So again, I feel like we have to remember that our country is really young. It's only 244 years old, which, it still makes sense, but it's still frustrating to be experiencing this right now. So I'd say the word frustrated really expresses my whole feelings about it right now.
Yeah, I would definitely say that right now, especially on social media, it's either like there's a big divide right now. You're either Democrat or Republican, and there's a lot of bickering and fighting going on social media to the point of people defriending others or getting into these large debates. And, it's good to know where people lean, but also it's a little bit stressful too.
But also I was actually thinking it's kind of a good thing too, because at least we have something to stand for and speak up about. Before, Obama, oh, I'm sorry, I meant Trump. You remember people weren't as passionate about politics, it seems. And now with all these hot topics, there's so many stories, and it's a different way to look at things. That's how I would say.
Have you ever experienced discrimination based on your race? If so, how has that affected your day-to-day life?
Yeah, so I am a mutt, as I call myself. I'm racially ambiguous. I'm French Canadian, Black, Puerto Rican, and Peruvian. So it's tough for people in general to assign me to a group or label me. But that doesn't stop them from discriminating against me just based off of the color of my skin or my deafness. So I used to work as a landscaper in Buffalo. It was maybe 2015. And I was the only person of color in a group of 4 white people. And we worked together, and it was great. But the only issue was that the guy who was my boss, he was maybe 77 years old. He was an Irish man who was just always angry at life in general and just kind of behind all the times. So when I was getting close to snow plowing season, he actually let me go. And when I asked him why, he said that he felt that my deafness could be a huge liability for the whole team when it came to snow plowing, at least. So he didn't really give me a chance to prove myself or to show that I could be part of the team through the entire year. That was the specific case, isolated case, which meant that, before that, after that, I haven't really had anything specific happen to me. And I'm definitely more aware now of the everyday struggles that people who are easily identified as maybe Black or Spanish or just a person of color in general, things that they have to deal with every day. I really understand their pain that they've had to deal with.
Our next question is, what challenges have you experienced as a person in the deaf community?
So I went to a deaf institute, a deaf school. It was in Colorado, this Colorado School for the Deaf and the Blind. And I went there K through 4th grade. And afterwards, I went to a mainstream school, which means there's both deaf and hearing people in the school. And a mainstream school, they had a deaf program where they would educate deaf students in a hearing environment. So after I went to the mainstream school, I kind of became disassociated from the deaf community, and my ASL skills really degraded. And then later on, when I went to college at RIT, I was maybe in my 20s and I'm playing catch up with the language. So it was really playing a linguistic catch-up, sort of. And that was really the only thing I can think of as far as the deaf community, but being involved. But they've always been so welcoming to me.
Yeah.